Russian friend? Where's our Russian friend? I studied. Oh, you're kidding. Who knows her? Oh, but who knows her knows her. Okay, can you record this really quick because I looked this up this morning and studied it for her. Sorry. Buenos días, ohayo, dobre utra. That means good morning in Russian.
Awesome. All right, so looks like some people had some fun last night, right? You know, so we need to get some IV bags ready and wheel some people down from their rooms. But really, we just want to cover a little bit of yesterday, then do some housekeeping for today's festivities, everything. We got a great day of content coming at you, especially with our next speaker. So we'll kind of go through a little bit of that. But Jackie, yesterday, what do you think?
I think obviously there's some common messages. I think what we need to realize is the demographic that we're working with is coming off of reality TV binging and realizing reality TV isn't reality TV. And so we have a demographic of people, all people really, that are really looking for our authentic selves even as professionals. So you've heard a lot of people up here talking about really figure out who you are, deliver that authentic message, post the videos where you messed it up. And so that was one of the major things that I took away from yesterday, and part of my journey, as I shared with you all yesterday, was really figuring out that for me, the pursuit of the statistic instead of running from the statistic was really who I was.
Yeah, it's super important, I think, a lot of great points from the speakers yesterday, talking with like David Greenspan talking about a focus on the people you do know as the people you don't know. Yeah. Going even to Gary talking about, it doesn't matter, right? What only matters what you think about yourself, not what other thinks, and trying to move, if you do have negativity in your life, try to find some positivity so you're not being brought down by that. But I think ultimately what we wanted to do with EPMX and with what the speakers touched on, and it's something that Phil Mancuso talks about quite a bit, is it's never really a price conversation, it's a value conversation. Yeah. And if you're not showing your value, then price is all that matters, right? So if you don't like those conversations, you gotta show a little bit more value.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a pretty keep it real person, so sometimes I literally say to my clients, like, listen, I know people want three things. I'm a mortgage broker owner, and I say people want to keep as much of their money as they can. They want the lowest payment, and they want the lowest rate. The only reason they want the lowest rate is because that's what the interweb tells them makes a good loan. So I'll say to them, unless you're planning on getting a shirt custom made at Etsy so you can tell everybody what your rate is, it's actually the least important thing in the transaction. And they have a really hard time digesting that because everything else, everywhere else, tells them that that's how you know you've done a good job in making this decision for your family. But if you take on the role of an advisor, whether you're in real estate, because what is going to happen is we're really looking at finances differently right now and leveraging our position. But if you don't really understand and aren't looking at the whole picture as an advisor and looking at how can we leverage this, then you are also going to sell right. And that's all your value is going to be, which is why people are sweating bricks right now, because they've sold themselves on the value of having a low rate. Like we heard yesterday, everybody has it. Yeah. I can get it too. So if you don't really know what your value is, or you've, caught on to some, and I did it too, like the value of the market and everybody wanting to do it. But at the end of the day, also, I'm so much more than value. Rate. I'm so much more than rate. So don't sell me short. Like, there's a lot of clients that I'll say no to when they're like, what's your rate? You don't even want to know.
Yeah.
Wait. That reminds me of something that was said yesterday.
What?
What's your rate?
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, we won't talk about that.
All right.
The hoofing around. But when it comes down to what your superpower is, your superpower is that you are a local expert. You mentioned the term advisor, which is extremely important because that's something that fintech and the online people will never be able to be. They're never going to be able to be that local expert. They're never going to be that advisor. That is your superpower, and that's how you win. And all of the content, whether you know it or not, was based on that premise. The content today, even more so, and a lot of it's about delivery and the medium and understanding how you're going to get to the consumer first, which is important because of that narrative that Jackie's talking about, that they hear about rates and price and all the other stuff. And I'll tell you right now, the reason why that is your superpower is because if the conversation or narrative to consumers at large becomes only about price, then as an industry, we are going to lose that battle, right? So that's why there's never, in my opinion, been a more important time to be great at what you do, to be a great mortgage advisor, to be a great real estate advisor, a real estate expert, a mortgage expert, whatever you want to say. There's never been a more important time to be great at what you do because there's a lot of stuff happening. And again, that's the foundation of what we want to bring here with all the great speakers here at EPMX.
Yeah. And yesterday, as I was saying, things like this is going to happen whether you like it or not, that's a Gary Vee thing.
Yep.
And for those of us that grew up in the internet stage, we remember that. Like, we remember the Y2K. I was thinking also about David Greenspan yesterday really saying, what are your 5 lifestyles? And I thought there are definitely 3, but what are my other ones? And I can tell you right now that a lot of people, this was a good discussion yesterday, like, what are my lifestyles? I think people really know what those top 3 things are, but go the next layer, and we heard that from Liz as well, right? Like,
yep.
She got her puppy and walking her puppy around and meeting all of these people, and that's the next layer. And I would have never thought of something like that.
Yeah, and doing that creates commonality.
Yeah.
Right, and through commonality is that start of knowing you, liking you, and trust you, which we all know is extremely important. One thing I do want to talk about, just going off of what we saw yesterday, is from an event perspective, is we have a lot of great speakers and a lot of good content. I know it's a long day yesterday, long day today. I want to make sure that you guys are checking the agenda, and I know we have calls and you're busy and it's work, and Friday, a lot of stuff going on yesterday, but with Saturday, want to make sure you're staying around for the whole program, staying around for all these great speakers that made time to come and give you great content. I know it's easy. I know, as we get in the day, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? So you want to have some libations, have a little fun. Now for lunch, I also want to grab attention is that we're going to do a special treat. We're going to do Losers Lunch here, live with El Presidente Phil Mancuso here. So go, all right? And so it's not Monday. Well, Monday's at 12 p.m. Eastern, so don't forget that. But so when it's lunchtime, grab your lunch, come back in. We're going to have some fun. Again, we didn't want this to be something that's just unengaging, right? And Losers Lunch is not about that, right? And some of you may like, well, Losers Lunch, what does that mean? Phil will tell you, if you haven't seen one of the episodes at Mondays, 12 p.m. Eastern, if you haven't seen one of those, we talk about that. It's not what a lot of people think. We're not calling people losers. It's about sacrifice. It's about, and a lot of, honestly, what I mentioned yesterday is finding that one thing. It's, as Phil talks about, it's not about sacrifice. It's about, are you willing to do what needs to be done to get where you want to go, right? It's about your happiness, right? Someone would be like, look, I'm 24/7, answer my phone all the time, da-da-da-da-da-da. That's their world. They're content. They're happy doing that. Someone else is like, look, if I make $80,000, I'm good. If I make $100,000, I'm good. $60,000, I'm good. Bills are paid, I go on vacation. They're happy. It doesn't matter. The only time this ever becomes an issue is when someone raises their hand and says, I want to change. I want to be different. I want to grow. I want to do more, yet they don't want to, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to wake up early. I'm not going to work late. I'm not going to answer my phone after 5. Then you don't want to grow. You don't want to get that. There is no secrets or shortcuts to success. As much as everyone wants to say that there isn't. It's really just about hard work.
Yeah, I will do my very best to keep you guys informed if there's any changes. We were so fortunate to get some of the panelists for a little bit longer than they were scheduled for.
Yeah.
And like I said yesterday, the things that you chose to set aside in order to be here this weekend, all of the things, right? Kids, the pandemic, all that stuff. You don't want to miss what's here. So I've been working with them for a while. As a professional, though, you're going to inevitably end up somewhere when something is said that everybody's talking about. It happened to me even backstage. So I'm just going to say, like, I know it says 5, but please stay around if we go longer than 5. A lot of times these shows are built like the grand finale on the 4th of July. So just know, if you bounce, you're missing the grand finale.
Don't miss that last firework. It's a doozy, right? As we get into our first presenter of the morning, one of the things as I coach loan officers about, and even some agents in regards to marketing, strategy, technologies, things, tactics, I always get asked, what's the one thing? What would be the one thing if someone asked you, what should I focus on in 2022, right? And we hear video all the time, and it's important. It was important 5 years ago when we said, this is the year of video, this is the year of video again, and it is, and it will continue. Next year will be the year of video. It will be the year of video until you finally all decide to make it the year of video. And if I was to tell you one thing that will change your business, and not maybe, not kind of, not theory, but will change your business, it's to have a YouTube strategy, and a good YouTube strategy based on not what you think people want to see, but what people actually want to see. And our first presenter has a great story about that, and I invite you to talk with her at the event when you meet her. But she has a great story on that, and she is 100% proof of what deciding, this is what I'm going to do, have a single path towards it. I don't want to do what everyone else is telling me I have to do in real estate to be successful, to get clients, to get business. She did it on her own, and she did it using YouTube. And she's going to tell you how she did it, and it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, when you have that in your gut, and some of you in here are sitting here going, I know that's what everybody's doing, but I just feel like for me it's something different. A lot of the people that are up here were the people that said it's something different or went first, especially when you're trying to tap into a new market or if you have to relocate. There was a time in my life where my history was in restaurant, and I was like, man, I'll do whatever I got, but I don't want to go back to bartending, but I'll do it. And then I just knew inside of me there was something else. And that is really what inspires this. I'm going to dive down deep. I'm going to figure this out, boots on the ground, knees scraped, how to do this. And I'm really excited to welcome Karin Carr to the stage.
Hello, everybody. Yes. So thank you, the faithful, the few that are here at 9 o'clock on a Saturday morning. Much appreciated. Yes, today we are going to be talking all about video. As you will hear, video is my thing. And I'm going to talk about where to put your marketing efforts so that you get the best return on the time that you spend doing it, as well as any money that you care to put at it. What's keeping you from getting leads now, and what you can start doing right away that will start bringing you clients. Somebody yesterday said, different first, better second, and I wrote it down because it's so true. You don't have to be great to be on video. That's the secret. You really don't have to be great. You just have to be present because most other people are not doing it. So I made this presentation thinking we were going to have a lot more real estate agents in the room, but this also applies to loan officers. So if you want to start doing more transactions without spending a ton of money on ads, YouTube could be a great strategy for you. If you are tired of putting the Zillow sales reps kids through college, that would be me. Like, I am fundamentally opposed to buying leads because I feel like, okay, soapbox time. I feel like we are training the consumer that we are a commodity and all we are doing is competing on price. All they are looking for is who is going to come and open the door as quickly as possible, who is going to do it the cheapest, and they don't see our value. They think that we just all do the same thing. They think that we're just door openers. And we're basically training them that that's okay by buying these crappy leads. So I don't want to do it. Then there's the whole cold call strategy. So like Jason was saying in the introduction, I would rather do just about anything than cold call strangers every day. Like I don't want to do it. I don't think it's necessary. And I went to my broker when she said, I was new here in Atlanta, and she said, so what are you going to do to get business? And I was like, I'm going to make videos and I'm going to blog, because I'm not doing that. I am not cold calling people for 2 hours a day. Yeah. And she was like, okay, like let me know how that works out for you. And this is how it worked out for me. I get to stand on stage speaking to you people, so it's pretty awesome. Thank you, thank you. But the reality is that I've given this presentation freaking 200 times in the past 18 months, and people go, yeah, this sounds great. And then they do nothing afterwards. So the deal is, you gotta take action. Even if it's not great action, imperfect action is better than none at all. And like Jason just said, it's not like video is a new thing that we've never heard before. So if you've heard it and you've always said, like, I'm gonna do it, and just have never gotten around to it, I hope to inspire you today to say, listen, if I can do it, you can do it too. So when I moved here, I got to Atlanta. I had gone from Northern California, right outside of Napa, which was awesome. We moved to Hilton Head, South Carolina. 15 months later, we moved here to Atlanta. So now 3 markets in 3 years. I was like, oh, geez, now I got to start all over again. So I said, I'm going to start making videos, and they were awful. So this first one was all about the rent-to-own program. Those of you that are in Atlanta, it was about the Home Partners program. And I made this video. It looks like I'm in a lineup. I'm up against the beige wall with no lighting and no microphone. I mean, it was terrible. But it was valuable information. So even though the quality of the video was hideous, it still got 700 views or so. Then I did one about interest rates. This is truly embarrassing. It's 4 years old. It's had 66 views cumulatively. Yeah, that was one of my crowning achievements. Then sellers had to choose the best offer. What on earth made me think I should put the text right across the middle of my face? I don't know. And then, because I wanted you to really know who made this video, my face is on there twice. Not once, but twice. Like, I want you to know who made this video. And again, 300 views in 4 years. Not exactly anything to write home about. But then one day, I got a call. Any of you guys watch Scotty's Off-Road Recovery? This is my husband's favorite YouTube channel. Every single video begins with, so I got a call. And so I had to throw that into my presentation. So one day, I got a call. This man said, I have found your YouTube videos. I feel like I know you already. I've watched all of your videos. My wife and I are selling our house in upstate New York. We're going to move to Georgia, and we want you to help us. And I said, you have the worst timing in the whole world, because I just moved to Savannah last week. I just moved 5 hours away. You couldn't have called me last month. But when he said, I feel like I know you already, it was that moment where, you know, the heavens parted, the angels sang, and it was like, do you finally get it? Do you finally understand why video is important? And truly, that one call changed the entire trajectory of my career. I went from being brand new in Savannah, where I had no sphere and I had no market share and nothing, to being on stage talking here about how much video is. So in June of 2017, we had just moved over Memorial Day weekend. I said, I am going to start making 1 video a week. That's it, just 1 video a week. And I'll give it 6 months and I'll see what happens. And I spent that whole summer learning about the YouTube algorithm, because everybody was doing Facebook Lives. And I thought, I don't want to do Facebook Lives, I want to do YouTube. And I'll get into the reasons why I wanted to do YouTube. But I needed to understand the platform, and because I had no clients, and I had no business, and I had nothing but free time, I just got on YouTube and freaking watched every video there was about how it works and how I could use it as a lead generation strategy. Not top-of-mind awareness, not branding. Like, I wanted to make people call me. I wanted this to be basically direct response, only instead of mailing a postcard, I was going to do a video instead. So, as I learned more about video, it actually started to work. So I did this one called How to List Your Home on Zillow and How Not to. And I was going after for sale by owners because, of course, they all think it's a piece of cake. And I just wanted to show them, well, it might not be as easy as you think. And it got 7,000 views. Then I did one called Moving to Savannah, 10 Reasons Why You'll Love It Here. And it got 30,000 views. Then I did one called Savannah, Things I Love and Things I Hate. And I talked about, it's freaking humid here, and we have cockroaches, and we're in a hurricane zone. But it was all things that could easily be overcome. I wasn't trying to make people not want to move there after all. Got 47,000 views. It's over 50 at this point. But here's the cool part. My phone started to ring off the hook. And within 6 months, I was getting most of my business from my YouTube channel. Within 9 months, I was getting almost all of my business from my YouTube channel. And in 12 months, I went to my broker and said, I don't think my children remember what I look like because I am never home. Oh my gosh, I am so busy, what do I do? And she said, I think it's time to form a team. 1 year, 12 months, from landing in a new market where nobody knew me, I needed to form a team because I had so many leads coming in from my little YouTube channel. Now, I'm going to show you what it is that I've done. These are not impressive videos. They're nothing. I'm filming them with my phone at home. They are so simple. People are not watching the channel because they look like something they see on HGTV. They do not like Selling Sunset. They do not look like anything like that. These are very simple videos, but it works. So my team now is 7 agents going on 8. We're getting 3 to 5 leads inbound every day, people that say, I found your channel, I want to hire you, will you represent me? They already know, like, and trust us. They are ready to sign on the dotted line. It is the craziest thing. Like, if I had known, holy cow, I would have started this so many years ago, right? So today, we get about 30,000 views a month on our channel, which is amazing, but it's not huge. It's not getting millions of views or anything. We get about 300 new subscribers a month, which is amazing, but it's just been so effective for us. And yeah, my channel is now monetized, so I make a few bucks. I made like $10,000 last year. Google just sent me my $10.99. So it's not enough to live on, but hey, like I'm not gonna complain about making 10 grand a year from ad revenue from YouTube. They're very cool. But I love YouTube so much, I ended up writing a book about it. Anybody read my book? Yay! It's called YouTube for Real Estate Agents, Learn How to Get Free Leads and Never Cold Call Again. It is a whopping 99 cents for the Kindle version, if anybody would like to get one. And then I created a Facebook group. Loan officers and lenders and title reps, you're all welcome to join it. If you want to take a picture of the QR code, it'll go right to the group and you can ask to be let in. All we do is talk about YouTube and what are you doing that's working, and can you watch this video and give me feedback? And it's got like 21,000 or something people in it now. It's really cool just to see people geeking out over video this way. So it's that group is called YouTube for Real Estate Agents as well. And I started teaching this because I knew how well it worked. And then this is a quote that somebody put in our group. It was around June, I think, where they said, in 2021 so far, I'm at 240,000 in GCI from YouTube alone. But the part that I loved was some of the best clients are from YouTube and they're just like me, easygoing, chill, and fun to work with. And that has been the most beautiful thing about YouTube, is that who you are on camera is who you attract with your videos. So I get people that are fun, that joke, that like to have a good time. I get high I's like me. I don't get the D's. I don't get people that just want to talk about data and statistics and stuff that makes my eyes roll back in my head because it bores me to tears. They are people that become my friends, that I want to hang out with. I had one lady from Dallas call me and said, girl, I am buying a house with a pool. And when I close, you're coming to my house on a Friday night, we're making margaritas, we're hanging in the pool, we're leaving the kids with the husband, like we are gonna have a good time. And I said, what was your name again? Like, I had no idea who this woman was, and that was literally the first phone call that we had. It was crazy. So if you are looking for the simplest, most effective, most inexpensive way to get new leads on a regular basis, then video is the answer, and YouTube is the vehicle to get there. Mic drop. So, in my presentation, we are talking about 5 big fat lies that real estate professionals believe about video that are keeping you broke and burned out. So, this is part of the reason why I chose YouTube over traditional social media, and by that I mean Facebook and Instagram. So lie number one, you gotta be everywhere. You have to be on all of the platforms, you have to be posting all freaking day. I truly feel that it is more effective and a better use of your time to pick one platform and master it. I would rather just go all in on one platform that really works in your favor than be a jack of all trades and master of none. And then I know myself. I know that I will get overwhelmed, I'll get burned out, and then I just stop doing it altogether. And we know that with social media, only about 10% of the people that follow you ever see any of your posts. It's the whole pay-to-play thing, and plus the people already have to be aware of you to be following you. What if you're trying to reach people you've never met before? They're not following you because they don't even know who you are. But on YouTube is a search engine, and it is owned by Google. Google is the biggest search engine, YouTube is number 2. And people are already in video consumption mode when they are on YouTube. They go there for one reason and one reason only, and it is to watch videos. And it is not to watch 60-second videos or 2-minute long videos. They are hunkered down, preparing to watch video for a good long time. They are looking for information. Your content is not interrupting what they were doing. They were not scrolling on Facebook and your open house video pops up. They are on YouTube searching for the information, which means that 100% of the people that watch your video were interested in the topic. Let that sink in. 100% of the people that watched your video actually cared what you were talking about. Now think about the videos that you're posting on social media. They're just scrolling past it half of the time. It's like, well, oh, I know her. Yeah, okay, keep scrolling. They were not seeking it out. It just appeared in their newsfeed and started to automatically play. On YouTube, they are seeking it out. And then when they click on it, we know they were actually interested in the topic. Now, here's a pro tip. This is my favorite Chrome plugin. It's also for Firefox. It is called Keywords Everywhere. It is $10 for 100,000 search credits. I am not an affiliate. I wish I were. I'd be a bazillionaire right now because I love this thing so much. I talk about it all the time. Keywords Everywhere is a plugin for the browser. So you pay your $10, they send you an API key, you install it, you just follow the instructions, it's pretty self-explanatory. And then you go to Google as though you are the consumer. So for you loan officers out there, who are you going to talk to with your channel? Are you going to talk directly to the consumer, or are you going to talk to realtors? You can't do both on the same channel, you got to pick one. We talked yesterday about having a niche. Don't make me niche slap you. You need a niche. And it will either be real estate agents or it will be directly to the consumer. So you decide who you want to talk to. And then you go to Google and you say, okay, I am thinking I am going to make a video, and in this example, I did moving to Boise, Idaho. So you type in moving to Boise, Idaho in the Google search bar, and this beautiful metric shows up underneath it, where it says volume $320 a month, competition is 0.25. The cost per click is in the center, which is great if you're running ads, but I'm not really running ads, so I don't pay a lot of attention to the CPC. What it's saying is that 320 people a month went to Google and they typed in moving to Boise, Idaho in the search bar. Now you tell me, if you're thinking about moving to Boise, Idaho, are you going to need a place to live? And you're probably maybe going to buy something, and you're going to need to get a loan, and you're going to need to find a realtor. These are incredibly motivated people who are doing that search. And then the competition score is 25. So on a scale of 1 to 100, I'd say 1 to 33 is low, 33 to 66 is medium, 66 and above is high. This is low. Low competition, plenty of demand from the consumer. So if you were to make a video, they would watch it. But here's what most agents do. They get on camera and they're like, hi, I'm Karen. I'm a realtor. I'm a top producing agent. I've got my GRI, a CRS. I got so many designations, I can't even remember what they all are. Enough about me. Let's talk about you. What do you think about me? And that's really what they do. And it's like, oh God, stop. So instead of doing that, we need to get on camera, we need to make videos that are interesting, where we're not just making it a giant commercial all about ourselves. just like Michael LaFido was saying yesterday. What's in it for me? That's what they want to know. So this was one of my most popular videos. I said, do not go to Savannah without knowing these 7 things. And so they see this in their search results, and they're like, oh, do not go to Savannah. I thought it was a pretty cool place. Like, I need to watch that video. And it has done extremely well for me. And so we talk about, like, these are some things you need to know. If you live close to the water, you're probably going to need flood insurance. How do you know if the house you're buying requires flood insurance? It's stuff like that. So would you rather watch a commercial where the agent just talked all about themselves and their skills, or would you rather watch something like that? This is why YouTube is such a powerful marketing tool. It's so much more than top-of-mind awareness, and it's so much more than just branding, where people are seeing your stuff over and over again, and hopefully they remember to call you when they're ready to do a deal. They are seeking out the information, so put your stuff where they are looking. Then line number 2 is that you've got to have videos that go viral in order to get clients. It truly is not about being in front of more people, it's about being in front of the right people. None of my videos have gone viral, and I'm getting like 3, 4, 5 leads a day. So here's a screenshot of the back end of my YouTube channel. I just said, show me the ones that are doing the best in the last 90 days. And you'll see that they're getting, thousands of views, but this is lifetime. So 53,777 views over 2-3 years. I'm happy with that number, but that's not a viral hit. That's not like something where it just went crazy right out of the gate. And it's not necessary. So if your video only gets 100, 200, 500 views, that's perfectly fine if it's making your phone ring, because vanity metrics do not pay the bills. I would so rather have 100 views on my video and get 3 clients than have a video that just, went viral and got 1 million views, and I never get anything from it except bragging rights. Line number 3 is that online leads are awful, and they are so hard to convert. They are only hard to convert when you're the one doing the chasing. When they chase you, my friends, it is a whole different ball game. They feel like you are a celebrity. It's the most ridiculous thing ever, and I still can't wrap my head around it, but people will call me and go, oh my God, I can't believe I'm talking to you. Oh, like you're a celebrity, and they get all excited. And the first time it happened, I said, can you hold just 1 minute? I put it on mute, and I was like, oh, thanks for holding. And I said, seriously, you are now my new best friend. I don't even know who you are, but you just made my day. Like, talk about an ego boost. But it happens a lot. So my friend Bob is a realtor in New Jersey, and he posted in our Facebook group and said, it is such a great feeling when someone calls you from watching you on YouTube and they say, oh my God, I'm talking to you. It's kind of weird, but it's kind of awesome too. So it doesn't just happen to me. It happens to all of the people in this group that are making Facebook videos or YouTube videos, and they have the same story over and over again where the person just said, like, you are the one, I've already chosen you, I'm not interviewing anybody else. They feel special when you agree to work with them because they think that you're famous. So they feel like, my agent is a celebrity, and she agreed to work with me. You're just working with that chick down the street, ha ha, so stinks to be you. It's so funny that they think that this is an amazing accomplishment. And I'm like, should I tell her that I'm just a realtor in town? I'm not famous? And it's like, I just can't even believe that they're serious. But yes, surely, you can't be serious. I am serious. But when you buy leads, they only wanted the house, and we are the necessary evil, and I'm specifically talking to realtors who are buying leads off of Realtor.com and Zillow and all of those things. Like, we are the necessary evil. We are the thing that is standing between them and the thing that they want. We are the gatekeeper. If they didn't have to work with us, they wouldn't. And so there's no loyalty there. And if you don't jump when they snap their fingers, they're going to just dump you and go to somebody else because they do not see your value at all. And you paid thousands and thousands of dollars to be treated like crap by this client. So I don't think that buying leads is the way to go. And wouldn't it be much more fun to have clients that said, oh my gosh, what would it take for you to take me on as a client? I actually had somebody say that one day. What do I have to do for you to take me on as a client? And it was like, get pre-approved and sign the buyer broker. Like, that's it. I don't got a lot of standards. Here is a great story, though. This was a closing I had a couple of months ago. My client was a professional illustrator for Marvel. Like, he was a professional illustrator, and he came to Savannah 3 years ago on an interview for the Savannah College of Art and Design, SCAD. So he called me and said, I know this is so weird, but I found you from your YouTube channel. And I'm like, you're the fourth call I've had today. But he thought he was the only one who had ever called me from YouTube, which was really funny. And he said, I am going to move to Savannah if they offer me this job, and I would be a first-time home buyer. I'm 52 years old. I live in New York City. I cannot possibly afford to buy a house here. I have no idea what to do. Could I meet with you and have lunch with you? Even though I'm not ready, you just tell me what I need to do to get ready. So we met and had lunch, and delightful man. And I basically gave him the spiel that I give to my first-time buyers, even though he was my age. And then he got the job. He ended up renting for a year and a half so that they could fix their credit, finally found the house, closed, awesome. I walk into the closing, and he presents me with this drawing where I was the hero, I was the super agent. It was like, holy cow, like, we never get gifts at closing. We're always the ones giving the gifts. So to even receive the gifts was very special. But he drew this, and he drew me as like a superhero. This is one of my most prized possessions. And he found me from YouTube. He did not come because I bought a lead off of Zillow. So line number 4, you gotta be young, you gotta be beautiful, you gotta be skinny, you gotta have no, belly fat, no COVID curves, as somebody said yesterday, and be very extroverted to be on video, right? I have gray hair, people. I have laugh lines. I have the COVID curves. Like, I'm living proof that that is not true. But did you hire your plumber because they had washboard abs? Or did you hire your plumber because you had a leak under your sink and water is running everywhere and they have the skills to fix it and you needed somebody with the expertise to fix the problem? Like, they don't care what you look like. Here is another example of a channel that I follow. Her name is Becky. She has 488,000 subscribers, and she talks about raising backyard chickens. Now, nobody is following Becky, as nice as she is, because she is a supermodel. Like, we're looking at her pictures, and she's just a lady. She is real, she's relatable, she's very funny and nice, and I enjoy watching her very much. But, like, nobody's tuning into the channel because she's walking around in a skimpy bikini. So that's not why they're watching our videos. That's not why they care. And another perfect example of people only seeing your videos if they're interested in the topic. I was born in Queens. I know zilch about raising backyard chickens, but during COVID, we decided to sell our home that was in a homeowners association and move out to the country. And we bought 6 acres, and the house had a chicken coop on the property. So I said to my husband, oh my gosh, we could get chickens. That'd be so fun. And so I started going on YouTube, looking for information about, like, I don't know anything. What do I do about chickens? And until that moment, I had never, ever, 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 ever been shown a video about backyard chickens on YouTube. I did not go to youtube.com and get to my homepage, and there were all these videos about raising backyard chickens. That had never happened before. Now, every single day, I get to YouTube, and they're showing me videos about chickens. Why? Because I have searched for it before, I have watched videos on those topics before, and so the algorithm is saying, okay, because you watched this channel, and you liked this video, and you watched it all the way to the end, and you gave it a thumbs up, we think you would really like this channel because they have very similar content. So now YouTube is smart, and it's trying to show me what it thinks I'm going to like. But it's just a great example that that's how the algorithm works. It's looking for the person who wants to see your content, and they're going to put it in front of that person if you have good content. Here's another example. This is Will. He's a realtor in Montana. Will always jokes that if his wife would get on camera, they'd have twice as many subscribers. Now, Will did go viral. Will did a video that said things about living in Montana that they never tell you. He looks like this on camera. He's wearing jeans. He's wearing a baseball hat. He put his phone on a tripod, and 7 minutes went by where there were no cars at all. Like, he lives in the middle of freaking nowhere. I think it's like in very, very northwest Montana, right before the Canada border. And he now has over 40,000 subscribers. It's crazy how well his channel is done, because people that were like, you know what, I want to leave California, I want to leave New York, I want to go live out in the country, I want to live somewhere where I don't have to wear a mask 100 hours a day. And they were thinking about moving to Montana. So he made the perfect video that people were searching for at that moment of time, even though it's not amazingly produced, it's not beautifully filmed, it's just good, solid information where he's being himself on camera and showing his personality. And the thing took off like a rocket. Clients want real. They don't need perfect. So when we're sitting here psyching ourselves out, saying, I can't do video because, I don't like how I look. Well, do you meet clients with a bag over your head? No. So, that's just a stupid excuse. I don't like how I look. Okay, fine. Decide you're going to go to the gym and just start working on it. But are you never going to meet with a client again because you don't like how you look? What about, I don't like how I sound? Well, there is nothing you can do about that. Short of going to a speech therapist and spending years training yourself how to talk like somebody else, why? This is how you sound. And just because, I don't know if everybody knows this, I majored in music in college. I wanted to be an opera singer at one time. And I learned all about how the voice works. You are the only person that hears your voice this way. Everybody else hears it differently because it has to resonate in your head and go through all of your sinus cavity and all that stuff before it comes out of your mouth. So you hear it differently. Everyone else hears it different from you. So when you play your video back and you watch it and you go, oh my God, my voice sounds so awful. Sorry, that's how it sounds to everybody else. So how do you get over that? You make a lot of videos and you watch them back. And pretty soon you become desensitized to it. It's like I've heard myself on videos so many times now that I don't even think about it anymore. And it's like, yeah, that's just how I sound. So, and I've never had anyone say, I almost hired you, but I can't stand the sound of your voice, so I fired you. They don't call you and say, I almost hired you to list my house, but I really hate that you let your hair grow out gray. Or you could really stand to do a few sit-ups. They don't say that. Nobody says that. So why do we make it an issue when it's just not an issue? We need to get out of our own damn way and make some videos because it will change your life. Thank you. Here are some friends of mine that are introverts. They absolutely say that they are introverts, and I love watching what their businesses have done. So Emily Farber is in Iowa, and she said, I really don't know if I can make videos. I'm so nervous about being on camera. I'm not very interesting. I don't know what I would talk about. People won't want to hear me. In December, she sent me a selfie standing in front of her brand new Tesla and said, looky what YouTube bought me. So you don't have to be an extrovert. Mary is in Minnesota, pretty much same thing. She was like, I had to seriously psych myself up even to make that first video. And it didn't take all that long before her phone started to ring. And now she's like a super wazoo producer in her office. And she says, I love YouTube videos because I'm an extrovert. I film at home and nobody's in the room with me. So I'm sitting at my desk alone, and I talk to the camera like it's one person. So I imagine that the lady down the street said, is this a good time to sell my house? I would love to pick your brain. And I said, yeah, come over and we'll have a cup of coffee. And I'm just sitting at the kitchen table talking to her about should you sell, and what's the market doing, and what you could expect. So she talks to the camera as though it is that one person. Don't imagine I'm on stage talking to 300 people, 1,000 people. That'll scare the pants off you and you won't do it. But if you imagine that the camera is just one person, it's not nearly so scary. And now, okay, I think I can do that and make a video. So here is that selfie that she sent me when she was like, looky what YouTube bought me, the Tesla Long Range Model Y. And I just was so excited for her because she was, I think, only in her first or second year in real estate when I have a coaching program called YouTube for Agents, and she signed up for it, and she was a relatively new agent, and now 2 years later, this is what she's doing. And then lie number 5, which is probably my favorite, is it just takes way too much time to do any of this. How many of you think that it really takes a ton of time to make a YouTube video? I can't see, it's super dark, but I see a few hands. Well, let me ask you this. Do you have time to do this instead? How many people are doing this? So I just Googled, I went on Facebook and I searched, and I was like realtor in, and I put in a random town, and I found this person's timeline. And these were 3 posts, I just screenshotted them. 0 likes, 0 comments, 0 engagement on every single post. And she was doing this day after day after day after day. And I was like, oh, if you would just stop doing what doesn't work and try something else that did work, like your whole business would be different. Because remember, YouTube is a search engine. I did a video back when I lived here in Atlanta. It was called How to Increase Your Zestimate. And the idea was, you're selling for sale by owner, and you've looked at your Zestimate, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's way too low. And they're gonna start lowballing me on the offer. Is there any way that I can help raise that Zestimate so that it supports the price I want to ask? And then I go through the process of how exactly you do that. 5 years later, it is still ranking in the first position. This was an incognito search that I did, and it's still showing up in number 1. And I can't see, the thing is too small, how many views it's had, but it's had a lot of views. And so because people are going to Google and searching, YouTube videos will show up in search results on Google, because Google owns YouTube and Google loves to display YouTube videos in their search results. But Facebook videos, rarely. Instagram videos, rarely. LinkedIn videos, every now and then, might show up on Google search results, but not frequently. However, YouTube videos absolutely show up on page 1 of Google search results. But the videos that we put on social media, they only have a shelf life of maybe 3 to 4 days at best. So you make a video, and it gets a whole bunch of views at the beginning, which is awesome, and then it just kind of like falls off a cliff, and we never see it again. But the video that you put on YouTube today, people will watch it 5 years from now. It's such a good use of your time to spend, let's say you spend half an hour filming the video. If you want to edit it yourself, you can, but don't. Just pay somebody else. Go to Fiverr.com and pay somebody $10 to edit it for you and make a custom thumbnail. You upload it to YouTube. Maybe you spend a grand total of like an hour and a half to make a video that can bring you leads for years to come. So it can really take less than 2 hours a week if you outsource a lot of the moving parts. Here's a little thing I have, and if you want to download this, I'll give you the link later where you can download it. But it's like how long I really spend making YouTube videos. I sat down and I calculated it out. I was like, okay, I have to decide what the video will be about. And then I do a little bit of keyword research with Keywords Everywhere, that plugin. And then I write out, what am I going to talk about in this video? And then I sit down and actually record the video. Then I send it to the editor. The editor does the first draft, sends it back to me. I watch it and say, okay, could you make a change here and change this, and you spelled this wrong. And then they send me the second revision. I say, that's fabulous. They upload it to the YouTube channel. They make the custom thumbnail and upload it. I just go in and maybe I give it a great title and a couple of lines in the description, and then publish it. So my part is less than 90 minutes a week to make videos that are bringing in 5 leads a day. Like, I say that's a pretty good ROI on the time spent doing this. So if you are posting a lot on social media and it's working for you, please keep doing it. But if it's not working for you, I would just say, could you reallocate that time and try this instead? Because it is super, super effective. So did this get anybody excited about making YouTube videos? Good, 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 good. Because I want to tell you that if you're just tired of working really long hours for people who don't appreciate you, and especially for realtors, all they want is somebody who's going to give them a kickback or be the cheapest. If you're spending a ton of money buying leads or running ads, and if cold calling and all of that stuff are just make your skin crawl and not something that you want to do, then I urge you to give YouTube a try. So with that, it looks like I got about 8 minutes left. I would be happy to answer some questions. And here is this little thingy I've got for you to download. It's kind of my outline of everything I do to make the video, along with that image that I showed you before, if anybody wants to download it. It's youtubeforagents.com/EPMX. So I saw somebody over here in the front. That was, yes, sir.
So thank you for what you said.
Of course.
I mean, it's great. Everything was great. Something I really wanted to just kind of tell the room was, I started doing videos 15 years ago when I was I've been in business for 19 years, but that's what I did was videos. And it's what kind of, now I quit doing them. I don't know why I quit doing them, but I just quit doing them. And I started doing them recently again. But one of the things you said was, like, we hear ourselves differently, we don't like the way we look, and all these things. Man,
He's got a microphone for you.
I go through drive-throughs all the time. Like, any drive-through, coffee, whatever. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for your order. Pull around to the front. So I got this lady voice, right, for a man, But I've always known that, and I was always fearful, so afraid to do videos because I hated the way that I sounded. So just a good reminder. You show a lot of really awesome stuff.
I don't think you sound like you have a lady voice at all. I don't hear it at all, but if I'm glad you've embraced it. There you go. The screen with the website. Oh, okay, yeah. If somebody wants to put that back up on screen for me, that would be awesome. The Video Agent Blueprint download. Yes, sir.
Karin, that was fantastic.
Thank you. I don't think it's on.
All right. Yeah, that was great. So, question for you. So, all of your videos, are they organic reach, or are you doing any type of pay-to-play to have your videos positioned on YouTube for people to find them?
Great question. The question was, is this all organic or am I running any ads? I don't run ads. That is all organic. Now, you could run ads, but here's the thing. You have to make sure the metric that YouTube looks at the most for how popular your video is going to be is your average view percentage. So if your video is 10 minutes long and they click on it and after 30 seconds they bail, if enough people do that, YouTube goes, oh, people don't really like this video, they don't think it's very good, so they stop showing it high in the search results. But if the video is 10 minutes long and they click on it and they watch it for 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, YouTube goes, okay, people like this video, they click on it, they watch it for a really long time, we're gonna keep bumping it up higher and higher until it's showing up at the top of the search results. If you have this video that's not getting a good average view duration and you run an ad to it, you're gonna kill your channel because now you're putting it in front of tons and tons of eyeballs and nobody wants to watch it because it wasn't a very good video. So make sure it's a good video, and by good, I don't mean highly produced and super elaborate, and I used the most expensive camera that I could. It is simply, you're giving them something to look at, so not just me on camera talking the entire time. If I'm talking about a neighborhood that has a pool, I'm showing the pool. If I'm talking about walking the dog, we're showing people walking the dog. Like, we're giving them stuff to look at besides just my smiling face on camera the whole time. We are telling them information that they truly wanted to know, and if that's performing well organically, then run an ad to it, because we know that it's already working, so then putting it in front of more people would work for you. But I haven't, because I'm cheap. And I figure if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So,
Karin?
yes.
Hey, my name's Glenda Baker. I'm a real estate agent here in Atlanta, Georgia. And I noticed on the videos that you showed, most of them are 5, 6, 7 minutes. Do you have a sweet spot of duration? Because it looks like that your average watch is about 56% of that. So what is the sweet spot that you found?
I have found that videos 8 minutes long or longer seem to do the best. And the reason why is because YouTube only makes money from ad revenue. They don't make money because they charged us to upload the video, and hopefully they never start doing that. So after 8 minutes, they can run ads in the middle of your video. Now, to you and me watching it, that's so super annoying. We're watching the video, and all of a sudden the ad starts to play, and we have to wait 5 seconds to skip it. But the consumer just knows that that's how the platform works, and I don't think it really bothers people that much to have to wait 5 seconds. Plus, it's not like I chose to do that, YouTube chose to do that. That's out of my control. So they make more money on longer videos because they can show more ads. So what I have found is the best performing videos on my channel now tend to be the ones that are longer. And so many people think, I've got to make it like really short and punchy. That's great for TikTok, that's great for Reels, but that's not what works on YouTube. So I would say longer is better. And at the beginning, like I didn't have a lot of experience on camera, so I was making them 3, 4, 5 minutes long because I thought, good Lord, what can I possibly talk about for 15 minutes? But the more I do it and the more I understand how the platform works, the easier that has become. So now the majority of the videos I make are over 10 minutes long. And I didn't start that way, I had to work up to it. But even so, I would say 5 minutes is the bare minimum. And just train yourself from the beginning that you gotta make longer videos.
Thank you. You were awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Hi, Karen. I have a quick question for you. I noticed you said that a lot of realtors do it bad by, hey, I'm Darius, I'm the realtor. And when we looked at your videos and even the examples you showed, it was like the 5 best things to do in Idaho, the 5 best things to do in Atlanta. How do you transition in your video for the customer to know that you're a realtor? Are you baking your contact information into the description with your telephone number? I'm just trying to, and forgive me, it's probably just because I've never seen one of your videos. I will now, promise. But how do you transition to them understanding that you're not just giving them content, that you're actually a source that they can go buy a home with?
That's a great question. So I look at a lot of people's channels and we'll say, like, why is this not working for me? And we'll go look at their analytics. And there was somebody I was talking to last week where it's a blue line of how long they're watching that video. And it just went, like in the first 5 seconds, it went straight down. So we played the video to see what was happening. And she said, hi, I'm Karen. I'm a realtor in Savannah. And what that means to the consumer is, hi, I'm an annoying salesperson, and I'm going to sell you something you don't want. So don't do that. Don't start that way. Instead, you say, are you thinking about moving to Savannah? Here are 7 things I wish people would have told me before I moved here. And then you can have like a little bumper, you know, your little branding logo that comes on. And then I say, hey, everybody, thanks for watching. My name is Karin Carr. I am a realtor in Savannah, Georgia with XYZ Brokerage, etc. But I get through it as quickly as I possibly can. So I start with my opening hook to get their attention and get them watching, and then I introduce myself and I go right through it as quickly as possible. I swear if I could get away with not saying it, I would, but the Real Estate Commission would not be too happy about that. So I say who I am, I get to the topic, and then all of my contact information is down below in the description box and in the About section, and in the channel banner and all that kind of stuff. Thank you. There was one gentleman up front. I think we've got just a few seconds left.
I just want to know, you had talked about the third party. You were saying about the third party for editing.
Third party for editing software?
Yeah.
There's any number of places you could go. Fiverr.com, Fiverr. There are places like Video Husky, Video Ease. You could find a VA in the Philippines who will do it for like $6 an hour. So many different ways. I just say your time is better spent being face-to-face with the clients. Let somebody else do that because they're way better at it than you are. And quite frankly, if you're making $300,000 a year, you're paying yourself like $150 an hour to edit a video. It doesn't make sense. Yeah. All right, well, thank you so much, everybody.
Yeah.